What if I told you that being just 2 inches taller can help you earn an extra $15,000 a year? Or that having a symmetrical face is statistically more valuable than an MBA from Harvard? Sounds crazy, right? So let's test it right away. You have 5 seconds to decide. Which one of these is a CEO earning in lakhs per month and which one is an artist, barely struggling to survive? But wait, you already made your choice, haven't you? Even if you don't want to admit it. This is what we call thin slicing. An evolutionary shortcut that dictates who gets hired, who gets paid more, and who gets away with murder. We are taught that hard work is the ultimate currency, but did you know that there is in fact a hidden tax being levied on billions of people every day based solely on their looks, height, weight, and appearance? And if you're conventionally on the lower end of the beauty scale, you must have already felt the bias. That you have to work a little harder, wait a little longer, try a little more than the conventionally better looking people in almost everything. Getting a job, promotions, global exposure, and salary appraisal. But these biases don't start in your adulthood. They show up much before, when your better looking sibling receives more love and more treats. When the tallest, most popular guy of the class woos away your dream girl. When your favorite teacher is more lenient and kinder towards the pretty lot. And as you grow older, you realize that your insecurities went lying. Because these biases are present literally everywhere. In schools, colleges, offices, dating sites, and even the job market. And slowly, they even start reflecting on your placements, payslip, and promotion letters. This isn't a one-off trend or a pattern, but rather a well-researched, well-documented phenomenon affecting millions across different ages and industries. We've all heard of the phrase, fortune favors the brave, but the data says something else. Several studies and international CV audits show that the beauty tax or beauty premium is real. In a 2025 study, career trajectories of over 43,000 MBA graduates from the top 100 US business schools were tracked and analyzed over a 15-year period. And this is what it found. Keeping the IQ, GPA, and the year of graduation the same, here's what the results showed. The more attractive and better looking graduates earned an average of 2.4% more each year. That's an average of $2,508 more per year. So let's say the median salary of the MBA graduates are $175,000. The attractive ones easily earned somewhere around $180,000. And if you account it for a 15-year period, the difference becomes more stark. Of these, the most attractive 10% saw an extreme premium of over 11%. Now that makes them earn roughly $5,528 more per year. Now these guys were also about 53% more likely to hold more prestigious, high-ranking job positions 15 years after graduation. We call it the pretty privilege. An unfair advantage that fair, attractive people have over their less attractive colleagues and peers just by virtue of their beauty. And it exists because it's awarded. But the pressure it creates is real. In a survey conducted by Pearson, it was found that 74% of the test takers felt their appearance can influence their results if assessed by human examiners, while 76% of them thought dressing more professionally can create a more acceptable impression and thus potentially improve their test results. So does it mean that our looks, appearance, and attire matter more than our skills or talent? But wait, it gets crazier. This is Kabir. Before joining XYZ company, Kabir was a national topper, a great debater, had a BTech and an MBA degree from a Tier 2 college, and a couple of great internships. He had everything he needed to go from beginner to a leadership role. In just a few years, great scores, a great degree, amazing communication skills, a fancy name, and a face that can take him to places. All the biases and metrics were in his favor, except one: his height. So far, we knew that height matters, but only in professions that demand a greater physical strength. And science explains that 20% taller is equal to 44% plus more strength and maximum force. And more force is equal to more physical output. And that actually explains why taller people are perceived more like leaders. Because more strength means the ability to protect well, and also creates the perception of being more authoritative. But even for most other professions where neither do you need more strength nor force, height still decides your salary and whether you can be promoted to a leadership role. It's called the height premium. an invisible deduction, or rather a subconscious penalty you might pay in salary or opportunity just because you're a few inches shorter. In fact, it has been found that every 10 centimeter increase in height is associated with a 9% increase in wages. And over a 30-year career, a person who is 6 feet tall is likely to earn $166,000 more than someone who is 5 feet 5 inches tall. This theory was tested by analyzing the wages of coal miners, where workers of above average height were actually found to be earning 9 to 17% more than their shorter peers, meaning if a person A measuring 5 feet 5 inches earned rupees 500 a day, person B doing the same job for the same number of hours but measuring 6 feet would be earning rupees 585 a day. So are they really being paid more for their height, or for the perception that it creates? The question is, why does society bet so strongly on looks, height, or appearance? But before we answer that question, first let's find out, when did it all start? Let's say you walk into a grocery store, you see two apples. One is perfectly red and shiny, and the other bruised and misshapen. Which one do you assume is sweeter? Which one do you end up buying? They might taste identical, but your brain has already decided that the shiny one is safer, better, and worth the money. This is the halo effect. And we do the exact same thing with humans. But this bias didn't start years or decades back. It first showed up in the prehistoric age, when the world had no medicines, blood tests, or MRIs yet. So a pretty face was the only medical record available that acted as an indicator of health and developmental stability. So back then, a symmetrical face and a body meant good genetic health and parasite resistance. Clear, unblemished skin meant youth and well-nourished development. And a tall, proportionate stature meant higher masculinity and signaled the ability to provide protection and resources. And that wiring followed us through generations and eras. Today, our brain reflexively associates beauty with goodness. It's almost an automated response, and this association is what acts as the biological trigger for all the rewards that tall, good-looking people enjoy in the society, where they are regarded as more intelligent, more trustworthy, and are given higher pay and lesser punishments. Whereas people with minor facial anomalies and physical disfigurements are considered as less in everything. But why does it happen? On an average, a human brain takes just 1/10 of a second, that is just 0.1 second, to create a first impression of a stranger, like we did here. In this 0.1 second, your brain's amygdala, which acts as an alarm system, isn't looking at your CV or degree. Instead, it scans for two things: trustworthiness and attractiveness. All this before you've spoken a word, moved a limb, or even blinked your eye. Once your brain moves past the threat scan, it starts making complex impressions in the next 7 seconds. In these 7 seconds, the brain makes up to a total of 11 impressions. It's called the snap judgment. And these 11 impressions or decisions are generally about your education, intelligence, economic status, and competence based on your height, looks, body language, and attire. But that's a lot of decision making in just a few seconds. And this explains why when we confront a new person, we follow our very first judgment about them, instead of questioning or challenging it. The answer is obvious. It saves time, energy, and mental efforts. But how does this bias play out in corporate settings? Let's say this is Vian and this is Amay. They both work at the same job. They both make the exact same technical error, a detailing mistake that costs the company $10,000. But because Vian is perceived as more conventionally attractive and hence more reliable, trustworthy, and a better performer, his mistake is treated as an accident. The boss assumes external factors like stress, lack of sleep, and passes a judgment that's more lenient and positive. And because Amay has minor facial anomalies, or is less visually appealing, and hence perceived as less trustworthy, inexperienced, and naturally incompetent, his mistake is seen as something more serious and grave. In this case, the boss assumes internal factors like incompetence and laziness and passes a stricter judgment. As a result, over a 5-year career, that bias in judgment compounds into a massive difference in promotion speed and salary appraisal. Pretty face is equal to higher ROI. People pay a premium for beauty because it indeed brings more engagement and a higher ROI. Don't believe us? See it for yourself. Here are a few examples of social media posts. Now I'll ask you a few questions. Which of these three hooked you more, prompted you to read further, had no impact at all? Clearly, the engagement rate of post C will be 2 to 3 times higher than posts A and B combined. By now, we all know the reasons and can even blame it on our wiring. But here's the economics of a pretty face. Visually appealing appearance is equal to higher attention. High attention is equal to high engagement. High engagement is equal to more leads, sales, and brand deals. This is the reason why most client-facing job roles like those in sales, aviation, and hospitality prefer looks, grooming, makeup, attire, and communication skills slightly more than any other aspect of personality. So, statistically speaking, having good looks, good height, and good communication skills does work in your favor early on and can even make you richer. But what if you don't have any of the above? Can you still make it work for you? Data says yes. They are called the outliers. The world has plenty of such examples. People who go against the norm, break all odds, defy all biases to create wealth from scratch and a successful, long-lasting career. These people lacked one or more of these good looks, good height, and good speaking skills. But today, most of them are worth more than the entire GDP of some countries. How did they do it? Number one, skill mastery. They picked up one skill, worked on it relentlessly till they became the best at it. Messi wasn't born with the physical genes of an athlete, but today, even with a shorter than average height, he is considered as one of the greatest footballers. Messi was in fact born with growth hormone deficiency, which meant that he had to work on his skills more than any other player out there to defy his height disadvantage. Mathematically, if your skill level is at a 7 out of 10, your outer persona might determine your success. But if your skill level hits a 10 on 10, the bias disappears. Number two, visibility. Bias takes the center stage when decision makers know nothing about you. The only way to escape it? Become irresistibly unignorable. Like these people. They made sure that their work was visible, their output was public, their results spoke before they did. Neeraj did it with his medals, GenZ did it with his products. Today, Neeraj is the only Indian to have won back-to-back Olympic medals in athletics, and GenZ built a company that has today become world's most valuable company, worth more than $5 trillion. Number three, consistency. In 2012, this shy-looking, acne-faced young kid started uploading videos on YouTube. He didn't have connections, roadmap, or a blueprint. For the first 1,000 days, he had almost no views. Today, that young 11-year-old kid has built a multi-billion global media brand, all from a small room in a small town in North Carolina. And today his channels have 400 million plus subscribers and generates 23 plus billion views. He spent years studying thumbnails and the art of hacking attention. He treated YouTube like a science experiment, iterating every single day. The first 100 videos will suck, the next 100 will be okay, but the 1,000th video, that's where the compound interest of your skill finally pays off. That's the magic of compounding and hyper-obsession. And with the right opportunities at the right time, it can pay you more than any pretty privilege or height premium ever will. So yes, looks, appearance, and height do matter, but only to a certain extent. Because after that, it's all about your skills, visibility, consistency, and hard work. What do you choose? Looks or skills?